John Hamel, you're a clinical social worker with more than 20 years of experience working with individuals and families experiencing domestic violence. You're also the editor-in-chief of the peer-reviewed journal Partner Abuse and the author of the second edition of Gender Inclusive Treatment of Intimate Partner Abuse, Evidence-Based Approaches. What is the role of evidence-based practice in the domestic violence field
Well,
currently?
yeah, hopefully that role will be bigger and broader as time goes on. Up until very recently, you rarely ever heard the term evidence-based practice in the field of domestic violence. I mean, it's a term that's been used for a couple of decades, first in the medical field, and then subsequent to that, you've heard the term evidence-based practice in the fields of, for example, substance abuse. But not necessarily in terms of domestic violence. So, but we're here in Marin County, where I live in California. I'm very involved in the community with individuals who are concerned about domestic violence, and I've been hearing the term evidence-based practice, for example, at probation meetings, probation department meetings, where the probation department meets with members of the community, including people like myself who are domestic violence treatment providers. And the term evidence-based practice keeps coming up. And even victim advocates, who traditionally have been very closed-minded about any kind of new research, have also shown an interest in evidence-based programs to help victims. So I think it's very promising that we're even talking about it. But, of course, we need to do more than just talk. We need to actually implement evidence-based programs and have policies that support evidence-based approaches. Unfortunately, state laws on domestic violence, certainly in California and most of the country, are not evidence-based because the state laws were enacted at the behest of victims advocates who have a very narrow view of what domestic violence is. In other words, domestic violence is about males battering females, which the research does not support. So any discussion of evidence-based practice is welcome. And what's even better is, again, at the risk of repeating myself, what's even better is actually implementing evidence-based programs, putting them into actual practice, which is what I've been trying to do with my book. The new edition incorporates a number of programs to help victims and perpetrators and families affected by domestic violence that are rooted in the most methodologically sound research available.